Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is a bit of a blast from the past. We'll be diving into some board meetings from 2014. These meetings took place about a year after Tiffany Henyard first became a trustee in 2013. We're going to start by listening to part of the citizens' address section. The first speaker should be familiar to many of you. His name is Dan Lee. He has played a consistent and important role in the village of Dolton's efforts to remove Tiffany Henyard from her position as mayor. From the very beginning, Dan Lee was actively involved, often suggesting solutions to the village's ongoing financial challenges and mismanagement of village-owned properties like Melanie Fitness. That particular facility has long been a financial burden, and the village has struggled to manage it effectively. Let's listen to what Dan Lee had to say back in 2014 about how Dolton could improve the value of Melanie Fitness and make it more popular with residents.
I was looking at that Melanie Fitness Center, $100,000 loss. I know for a few years I've been trying to get membership there, and the price is pretty high for a senior citizen. I'm almost 65 years old, and I understand they've changed the price structure somewhat, but I think there may be better efforts to possibly reach out to some of the seniors or maybe even some of the students with maybe some different pricing to get more people into the center. You know, as it stands right now, it's pretty much sitting there as far as I can see. I don't see a lot of people coming in and out of there. I think you could put a nice dent in there, if not turn a profit, if somebody really looks into doing something with that center that people would want to go there for. Okay. You know, it's just a suggestion. Right. Okay.
So this was back in 2014. And it was already clear that the Melanie Fitness Center was facing serious challenges. Even then, it was struggling financially and failing to generate enough revenue to support itself, essentially becoming more of a burden on the village of Dolton than a benefit. Let's take a closer look at some of the issues and controversies that surrounded the facility, which might help us better understand why these problems have continued over time. The first controversy we'll examine involves this man right here, Dwayne Mohammed. He served as a trustee and was also the head of the Melanie Fitness Committee during his time on the board. While he was chairing that committee, a scandal broke involving an event held at the center, and it ended up making headlines. Let's take a look at that moment, and I'll share more thoughts afterward.
The Melanie Fitness Center in Dolton has a large pool and exercise room, and last month, the taxpayer-owned facility was used for a racy adult pool party. Among the featured guests, a dancer named Lonnie Pop.
Wow.
Your reaction when you first saw this video?
I couldn't believe it. They was making it rain on her derriere with $1 bills. That type of activity belonged at a strip joint or at a private club, not in a village-owned and operated building.
The fitness center manager rented the space to promoters for $500. Stubbs and other village officials say they were never consulted.
The party should not have went on.
What makes this story even more interesting is that Dwayne Mohammed once threw his hat into the ring to run for mayor, though he ultimately wasn't successful. But perhaps even more noteworthy is his role as head of the Melanie Fitness Center Committee. During his time in that position, he appointed his own son as the manager of the fitness center, raising serious concerns about nepotism and potential conflicts of interest.
Dolton trustee Dwayne Mohammed chairs the fitness center committee, and his son is the general manager. Mohammed says there was nothing illegal or even improper.
It was a pool party, and with a pool party, people have on bathing suits. And that's how young people dance nowadays. So you cannot censor how people dance at a pool party.
The promoter says no alcohol was served at the party, and the cash bar ad was a mistake. He defended Pop's routine, adding that there was no nudity. At the board meeting tonight, a video of the pool party was shown, and trustees moved to ban all adult pool parties at the Melanie Center in the future.
Why would we want to put a black eye on this village for people to look at across this state? And everybody here probably agrees that it's wrong, and all we got to do is stop it.
And to make matters worse, Mohammed actually attempted to return and chair the Melanie Fitness Committee again even after all the controversy. It was a bold move, to say the least. Let's go ahead and take a look at a clip from another board meeting that highlights this moment.
I was just asking Trustee Pearson what was that. So what are we doing? I'm a little lost on.
I can answer that if
Okay.
you don't mind. Melanie Fitness Center does not have a committee. We'd like to add that to the Human Services Committee. We're in the process of selling that facility, like we've just recently sold to Dorchester. We want to make sure there's a smooth transition, and that a committee should be in place to deal with the sale and other issues dealing with the recreation center.
So we making a separate committee for that?
We're adding that committee to the Human Services Committee.
Human Services.
So essentially, he's trying to fold the Melanie Fitness Center and all decisions related to it into the Human Services Committee, which he happens to be a part of. A pretty sly move, if you ask me. Let's see how this plays out.
In my discussion, I would suggest that we do not add it to the Human Services Committee under the direction of Trustee Muhammad, due to the fact of when he was over it before, the strip party that he allowed to go on at the Melanie Fitness Center, and then he got on Channel 2 News and said, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Muhammad says there was nothing illegal or even improper.
It was a pool party, and with a pool party, people have on bathing suits. And that's how young people dance nowadays. So you cannot censor how people dance at a pool party.
I would say judgment. Now, you got a trustee here that's on this board that said right on TV, I don't think there's nothing wrong with doing it. And now you want to put it right back under his auspices and his control? Come on, think about it, board.
Is this discussion, Mayor? Will you allow me to retort to your
Go ahead.
inaccuracy?
Go ahead.
I'm not going to go back and forth with
Thank
the
you.
misinformation.
Thank you.
Let me have the floor, please, with all due respect. I will not go back and forth with you on the inaccuracies of some kind of strip party that took place. It was a pool party, and with a pool party, people have on bathing suits. And that's how young people dance nowadays. So you cannot censor how people dance at a pool party. I will not go back and forth with you on the inaccuracies of some kind of strip party that took place when we all know that across the street at Club One
here
that
we
you
go.
authorized an
Here we
illegal
go.
license to, that had a strip club on
Here
the
we go.
second floor.
That's not
where
true.
4 people were shot, and
It's
the
not true.
5th person was shot right in front of the place
on,
of an
come on.
actual strip club.
Here we go, Muhammad gets called out over the infamous strip party incident. And in response, he fires back by calling out the mayor for a club located just across the street from Village Hall, apparently. There was a shooting at that club. And since the mayor was serving as the liquor commissioner at the time, the responsibility ultimately falls on him. Let's take a look at what happened with that club shooting.
Tonight, big questions after a shooting at a Dolton nightclub. Who's responsible, and was it even supposed to be open?
Police are not releasing a lot of details about this ongoing investigation, but they did tell us all those who have been shot are in critical but stable condition at this hour. That, of course, can change, as has the area where the crimes took place.
I used to bring my children here to a movie theater.
The film stopped playing here years ago, but today you'll find no business going on here. This place is closed by police order. What longtime neighbor Allison Key now finds outside the building, now labeled Club One, is the fear she no longer recognizes her own community.
It's scary. It's scary. I mean, we're still raising young families here.
Crime tape was raised past bar time. A shooting in and outside the club brought police to the business. The gun violence right across the street, mere steps from the Village Municipal Building.
The club should be shut down.
5 Village trustees addressed the media. That is the same number of people they say were shot early this morning. Dwayne Muhammad says the mass gun violence started on the second floor where 2 men began arguing.
One of the males went into the purse of his girlfriend and pulled out the weapon.
How did a gun get in a club that doesn't allow guns?
According to Chief Collins, I asked that same question, is that they do check individuals going in. Again, this is conjecture. The security didn't check it thoroughly.
Muhammad says 4 people were shot inside and the shooter was shot outside. However, it is unclear who shot him. What's also unclear to trustees is if the club currently permitted for building had the proper licensing to even serve alcohol.
So we will meet with the mayor and find out if he issued a license to Club One.
This really just highlights the ongoing tension and back and forth that's always existed between the board and the mayor, especially during the Tiffany Henyard administration. As for the current administration under Jason House, only time will tell how things unfold. That said, I do have faith in the direction it's heading. It feels like the majority of the current board genuinely cares about the well-being of the village, and they seem capable of compromising and working together. As a team,
I think I've shown you your work as it relates as your mayor, because I'll tell this to anybody. No man's gonna get mad here. Let a woman run it, and I'm gonna show y'all what we gonna do.
All right, there's no other way to say it, right? All right, let's go ahead and get back to this board meeting, and let's see how this vote goes with Trustee Dwayne Muhammad trying to get the Melanie Fitness back into his grasp.
I believe Jason House is proving to be a strong leader because he leads with logic and backs his decisions with facts and transparency. That's a sharp contrast to the Tiffany Henyard administration, which often seemed driven by chaos rather than clarity or accountability.